Now, Mr. Jones sold 2 pipes at $1.20 each. So there are 2 pipes, $1.20 each. Based on the cost, his profit the profit for one is 20% and his loss on the other is also 20%. On the sale of pipes, he blank lost 10 cents, gained 4 cents, lost 4 cents, or broke even. So if we will just look the problem without making computation, we can answer broke even, but there is a loss of 10 cents. Why 10 cents? This is the solution. For the first pipe, the cost price equals to the selling price. The selling price is the one who will be the price which will be bought by the buyer. That's the selling price. The selling price here for the pipe is 1.20. So that is the price that the buyer should pay. So minus the profit, because there is profit of what? 20%. So let X be the cost price. What is the cost price? Cost price, your X equals 1.20. 1.20 is the selling price which will the buyer be buying, the price that the buyer will be paying, minus 20% of X. So that's the 20 minus let us get the profit, which is 20% of the cost price. 20% of the cost price. Now, combine all terms in which negative 0.20 from 20%, let us make it into decimal by moving 2 decimal places to the right, to the left to make it decimal. So 0.20 X, transpose it together with X, combine all terms. So it becomes eggs. Since it is negative, it will now become positive. So eggs plus 0.20x equals 1.20, leaving 1.20. So add x plus 0.20x will give us 1.20x because our x is equivalent to 1. So add. They are like terms, so therefore add. So 1.20x. Then divide both sides by 1.20x to get our x, which is 1.20 divided by 1.20 simply give us 1. So the profit here is $1. There is the cost price here is $1 for our profit. Now, how about for the loss? For the loss, let's cover. Okay, for the loss, the same in which cost price equals selling price plus the loss. Why is it not subtract? In profit, there is already profit in the selling price, so we will just get the profit. How about why is it the loss is plus? So we will attach loss to the selling price. There is loss in the selling price, so therefore plus. Let x be the cost price. So x equals 1.20 the selling price for the second pipe plus 20%, that is the loss. Loss is 20% of the cost price. Now transpose 0.20x together with x, combine like terms. So since it is positive, it will now become negative. So therefore x minus 0.20x will give us 0.80x. Then divide both sides to get our x, which is 1.20 divided by 0.8. 1.20 divided by 0.80 will give us $1.5. So that is our loss. That is our loss. That is the 20% loss. Now, the total cost price is total cost price. It's the one $1 cost price here for the profit plus 1.5, which is 2.5. 2.5, that's the total cost price. How about the selling price? Okay, selling price. The total selling price here is 1.20 plus 1.20. Again, if you will be asking, what's the difference between selling price and the cost price? Selling price is the price which the buyer will pay for the pipe. It's the amount to be paid by the buyer. How about the cost price? It is the amount used by the seller to obtain that and sell it. Again, the cost price is the price being paid by the seller. Again, the cost price is being paid by the seller to obtain the pipes. Okay? Cost price. Now, if there is selling of if the selling price for the two pipes is $1.20 plus $1.20 for two pipes, that is 2.4. And the cost price made by this man by obtaining these two pipes and sell it to the buyer, in which cost price is the price paid by the seller to obtain and place it in his business. Again, this man has a motorcycle accessories store. He bought two pipes from the supplier. He bought it with $1 and $1.5, which is $2.5. Okay. Now, that seller will sell the pipe to the buyer with a price of 1.20 and 1.20, which is 2.4. So there is loss. $2.5 minus 2.4, there is a loss of $0.10. Again, loss is the subtraction of cost price, which is 2.5, and your selling price, which is 2.4. Therefore, there is a loss of $0.10 or 0.10 cents. So it means to say there is loss, lugi, because the seller bought the pipes from the supplier $2.5, and just he sell it to the buyer, and selling this pipe to the buyer for only 2.4. So there is loss. There is no profit in his business. There is loss of 10 cents. Okay. Let's continue. Again, still in business. An instrument store gives a 10% discount to all students of the original cost of an instrument. So there is already 10% discount to all students. During a back-to-school sale, an additional of 15% is taken off the discounted price, so a total of 25%. Duly, a student at the local high school purchases a flute for 306 pesos. How much did it originally cost? Again, there is already a discount of 10% and then additional 15% back to school sale, and then Julie purchased a flute for only 306 pesos. How much did it originally cost? So what's the original cost? Is it 450, 325, 350, or 400 pesos? So here, let X be the original cost of the flute. X, our original cost, subtract it with 10%. 10% of the original cost. The first discount, 10%. Subtract it again with 15% to the quantity of eggs minus 10% X. So it means to say, you have already the original price minus the discounted price of 10%. Then, multiply this quantity with additional discount of 15%. That is why 15% multiply it to the quantity of eggs minus 10% X, which is the original price, which is now the new price is 306 pesos. So, simplify first. Eggs minus 0.10x will give us 0.90x. How is that? Because our x is equivalent to 1. 1 minus 10, 0.10 will give us 0.90x. It's just like 100 minus 10 will give us 90. So here, 0.9x. Then, distribute our negative 0.15 to x, which is negative 0.15x, and then negative 0.15, multiply it with negative 0.10x, it will give us positive. Negative times negative will give us positive 0.015x equals 106. Now, simplify them all. First, simplify, subtract 0.15 with 0.90x minus 0.15x will give us 0.75x plus 0.015x will give us 0.765x. Again, simplify them and you will get 0.765x. Divide both sides by 0.765 to get your x and divide it with 306. 306 divided by 0.765 will give us 400. So therefore, the original price of our flute is 400 pesos. Discounted by 10% and 15%. Continue. Another business. A man has 10,000 pesos to invest. He invests 4,000 pesos at 5% and 3,500 pesos at 4%. So therefore, 4,000 plus 3,500 will give the man an investment already of 7,500, leaving 2,500. That's the remaining from the 10,000 pesos, 2,500. So now, in order to have a yearly income of 500 pesos, he must invest at what percent? It was covered, but the question here is, at what percent he must invest, at what rate? At what rate he must invest the remaining? For short, at what percent will this man invest the 2,500? The remaining from 10,000 is 2,500. So, at what percent? Because the 4,000 is already invested at 5%. The 3,500 is already invested at 4%. So, now the 2,500 at what rate? At what percent also? Now, so the 10,000 capital investment, interest, the formula is interest equals principal times the rate, that's the percent, times the year. So the year here is only 1 year, for 1 year. Because in order to have a yearly income, so for 1 year only. So what's the interest earned from 4,000 at 5%? So therefore, the principal amount is 4,000 multiply it with 5%, which is 0.05 times 1 year. So the answer is 4,000 times 0.05 will give us 200 pesos. That is the interest earned from the 4,000 at 5%. How about 3,500 at 4%? So simply, same formula. Principal, multiply it with rate times the time to get the interest. So 3,500 multiply it by 0.04. So will give us 140 pesos. 140 pesos. So therefore, we have already the target interest earned here for 1 year is 500 pesos. So we got already 200 pesos from 4,000. We got already 140 pesos from 3,500. So the remaining is 160 pesos. So from our capital, 4,000, subtract it with 3,500, the remaining is 2,500. So at what rate these 2,500 be invested? At what rate? At what percent? At what rate? The question here is, at what rate does this 2,500 pesos be invested to earn 160 pesos? So let X be the rate. So the same thing, the same formula, interest equals principal times rate times the time. Wherein your interest here is 160 pesos. That is the target interest already. 160 equals 2,500 X. Why X? Because let X be the rate. We do not know what is the rate, what is the percentage times 1 year. So 2,500 X. Divide both sides by 2,500 so that we can have our X. So 160 pesos divided by 2,500, because dividing both sides by 2,500, so 160 divided by 2,500 will give us 0.064. 0.064. Multiply it by 100, then we will have our 6.4%. So therefore, our 2,500 must be invested at 6.4% in order to achieve 500 pesos yearly interest. Next. Okay. In a small company, average salary of 3 employees is 1,000 pesos per week. That's the average already for the 3 employees. If one employee earns 1,100 pesos and the second employee is 500 pesos, how much will the third employee earn? So, what's the earning of the third employee? Now, the formula is the average of salary of 3 employees is 1,000 pesos per week. So, the average equals employee 1, employee 2, employee 3. Divide it into 3 because there are 3 persons, 3 employees. So, let X be the employee 3. We do not know the salary of employee 3. So, 1,000 pesos is our average salary. Equals 1,100 pesos for the first employee plus 500 for the second employee plus X because we do not know the salary of employee 3. Now, combine 1,000, add 1,100 plus 500, it's equals to 1,600. Next, cross multiply. So, cross multiply. 3, multiply it with 1,000 will give us 3,000. 1, simply 1,600, just copy. Now, combine all numbers or constants. So, therefore, transpose your 1,600 together with 3,000 pesos to leave X. So, therefore, we will just only be having X already on this side. So, therefore, from positive 1,600, it becomes negative. So, 3,000 minus 1,600 will give us 3,000 minus 1,600. The answer is 1,400. So, therefore, among the three, it is employee 3 got the most salary, which is 1,400 pesos. So, employee 1, which is 1,100 pesos, employee 3, 500 pesos, employee 2, 500 pesos, and employee 3, which is 1,400 pesos. Add these salaries, 1,100 plus 500 plus 1,400, divide it into 3, will give us 1,000 pesos average salary for 3 employees per week. That's the last. That is for the NLEX Reviewer Mathematics. These are the presentation of solution.